Looking a bit thoughtful, Clegg.
It's the view. Scenery like this starts a man thinking, fills him with wonder, lifts the mind, raises it to higher things.
I know exactly what you mean.
Well, actually, to be truthful, I was thinking how I've lost all confidence in Dr. Driscoll's patent fiery rubbing cream.
Dr. Driscoll's? I should think you have lost faith in it. Everybody else went off it about the time Queen Victoria died.
Was that fair, do you think? Her Majesty was nearly 100. You can't expect Dr. Driscoll to guarantee beyond that.
My mother used to use it on me. It burns, I know that much. It was like being rubbed with nettles.
That was the theory in those days. If it didn't hurt, it wasn't any good for you.
The former Mrs. Truelove held the same view about marriage. What's that for?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh.
What's that for?
He doesn't want to talk about it.
Oh, well, if that's his wish, we have to respect it. So why don't you tell me?
You told me.
Suffering in silence? He's making a meal of it, isn't he?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, well, I'm sure we don't care. There's nobody here with any wish to pry. Tell him if it's in confidence, I can keep a secret.
Tell him I couldn't give her anything to keep. I couldn't afford it.
I think we've known each other long enough, Norman, for me to inquire, where exactly did you apply Dr. Driscoll's patent fiery rubbing cream?
Well, usually it was in the bathroom.
I can't imagine it being your own choice of medication.
No, you're quite right. It was Mrs. Clegg's.
In those days, the peak of togetherness was having your back rubbed with something that either smelt bad or burned.
You thought it was medicinal, didn't you? Actually, it was witchcraft. That's how they secure their hold on you.
But you think that Dr. Driscoll's was a sort of magic potion?
You never felt like wandering off to other women, did you? I rest my case.
There's no wonder Dr. Driscoll's not popular these days. What did your wife use?
Mostly she used to rub me up the wrong way.
Still think of her as yours then?
Well, it's like an old wound, isn't it? You get a twinge now and again.
Was there never anyone else?
There was this lady from Wilsden I used to arrest occasionally. We got quite friendly.
Couldn't resist the uniform?
She could resist it very effectively. I've still got the marks.
I'm glad I found you in, Cleggy.
This is not me, Howard. This is a working model which I had made to be unhelpful to Howard if he comes in.
I'm out as well.
So am I.
All I want is to ask if I can bring my bike in.
You want to ride round my living room?
I just want somewhere to leave it for a while.
I should check it thoroughly. He's probably got Marina in the saddlebag.
What's wrong with where you usually leave it?
Well, this is another one. I don't want Pearl to know about it just yet.
You've got a secret bicycle.
And I'd like to keep it that way for a few hours. Until I can make Pearl understand what I'm after.
Oh, I think she'll be ahead of you on that.
Can I bring it in?
Oh, I bring it in. But I want it gone before bedtime.
2 bicycles. He must be expanding.
Yes, into my living room. Just what you need, a bicycle.
loved that bit in the book where he threw her over his saddle and galloped away.
Yes, they were always doing that. Personally, I think it sounds very uncomfortable.
Oh, I know. But if you've got to be uncomfortable, that's the way to go.
Only with my luck, if anyone threw me over their saddle, I'd sail straight over.
I know what you mean. I've been thrown over a bicycle saddle. But that was panic, not passion.
I've been tossed about in a Morris Minor. No, it's not the same. Well, for a start, there's a gear lever.
Been there. Done that. Didn't you find it cramped?
I find the whole modern world cramped, shrunken, diminished. It lacks poetry, elegance, manners, grace. The men think it can all be replaced by aftershave. Behaving badly has never smelt so good. I know the weather forecast said there was a deep depression approaching, but he's overdoing it.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
What have you got on life after death?
Oh, you poor love. Be of good cheer. There are still a few resourceful persons who can help you forget.
It's very dark in here for the time of year.
Come on, Clacky. I'd do the same for you.
Oh, yes. There's every chance of my landing up on your doorstep with an unlawful motorbike.
Just give me time to organise, Pearl.
Organise, Pearl? You've had 50 years, and where are you?
I mean, if I give way on this, what's next? A minibus?
I don't want Pearl to see it just yet.
And I don't want to see oil stains on my carpet.
There'll be blood on my carpet.
As long as it's only yours.
You think you've got friends?
You see how little grasp of reality the man has?
Hello.
I know that voice. It's your guilty one. What are you hiding?
Hiding?
You sound like a chorus. Who's conducting? I bet he is.
More like first fiddle.
Moment of truth, Howard. You're on your own.
Let's see you wriggle out of this.
So that's what you're up to.
Yes, love. You're just admiring Claggy's new motorbike. I think it shows great spirit, taking up biking at his age.
I'll kill him.
They're coming here?
It's just a few ladies for coffee.
A few ladies? You think that's nothing? That's like calling Genghis Khan a tour organiser.
Oh, Barry, they won't interfere with you.
They'll be looking everywhere for clues.
Clues to what?
For evidence that I'm ill-treating you.
They know we have a good marriage.
They don't believe in good marriages. They never noticed they had one.
They were used to harder times. They daren't admit to liking anything in case it got taken away.
But just don't fall or run into anything. If they see you with a bandage, I've had it.
I fancy having a crack at one of these.
That's a damn noisy.
I thought that was you.
I had a marriage that was played on the loud pedal.
Fancy having the kind of lady friend for which you need a track bike.
Oh dear. Do you think Howard is ready for even rougher country?
I wish he'd try Alaska.
Have you got room for a bike in there? We'd keep it ourselves, of course, if it wasn't so filthy.
But full of excitement. and prospect of adventure.
Not for you, Tom, of course. Some other Wally.
Well, not just some other Wally. This is Major Wally.
Bring it in. I always felt what this place really needs is a tatty track bike.
He's a trifle low profile today, isn't he? What's up with him?
He doesn't want to talk about it.
We'll see about that. Used to be my business making people talk.
It's stopping some people that's the trouble.
Biker gear? For you?
Yes, of course, for me. Although, just in case a situation arises, perhaps a second helmet for a friend.
Oh, that kind of biker gear.
Something lean and mean. I want to look like I was born for the saddle of a powerful machine.
You fell off that motor mower.
I swerved to avoid a mole.
All right, if you're determined. Now, in the interests of road safety, I think we should determine how much you're prepared to spend.
Well...
Oh, financial panic, I know it well. One voice saying, do it, another saying, you can't afford it. My advice is, ignore number 2.
Image matters. I want to look good. I want to look like hell on wheels. But on a budget.
Budget won't get you past Meals on Wheels.
Fancy leaving that here. Anybody half drunk could do himself a nasty on a thing like that.
What? I once fell over Charlie Trimmingham.
Everybody used to fall over Charlie Trimmingham.
I thought he always went to sleep outside the King's Head.
He used to get thrown out of this place as well.
He looked a right old wreck.
Look who's talking.
I thought you said that was me.
Don't fret. I think you could call it a tie.
Seems only fair. And you've looked worse for longer, Smiler.
You see, I knew it was me.
Let's get this man inside. He badly needs some cheer.
Pablo! Who's he calling Pablo? You grow one little moustache and they start calling you Pablo. I miss him.
Let's get this straight. Is this why the armband? You've recently lost to Pablo?
It could happen to anyone.
2 years ago today, I buried him in the garden.
You have the right to remain silent.
Finish. It's just getting interesting.
Not for Pablo. Did you know about this?
I know it was the first time he'd ever done any gardening.
So who was Pablo?
He doesn't want to talk about it.
He always talk finally to Truly of the Yard.
If he smiles, it's like a confession. It means he's up to something.
You prefer him miserable?
Oh, every time. There you go.
I see what you mean.
I thought I'd just go for a bit of exercise.
Not on the motorbike, then?
A motorbike?
Oh, give over. You're not telling me Norman Clegg's bought a motorbike.
People get these impulses.
Well, I hope yours aren't getting any bigger than you can manage on a pedal cycle.
A mouse? Pablo was a mouse? You're wearing a black armband for a mouse?
I like it. I used to have a robin like that, used to feed on my windowsill.
Alvin understands. It doesn't matter what it is if you love it.
How did you find this mouse? Was it fake, or did you use computer dating?
Pablo was in this pet shop window. He looked at me. That's all it took.
It was a good job the shop owner didn't give you the same look.
A mouse? Have you any explanation for this morbid attraction?
The world's a lonely place. We're all looking for something to cherish.
I was hoping for something bigger than a mouse. What sort of conversation can you have with a mouse?
What kind of conversation can anybody have with you? He gets to the end of a sentence and he's forgotten where he began.
Well, I'll finish with that bit.
Have you had any previous mouse experience?
No. Apart from once with a couple in the back of the settee. But this was different. Pablo was this lovely golden corn colour.
It's a love story, you can tell.
The man's an idiot.
But an idiot in love?
Big ears. Great big round ears.
How did you know it was South American? Did it have this big hat?
Very fluid at the mariachi, was it?
It was South American. It said so on the cage.
But didn't you realise they don't live long?
You know what love's like. You don't look to the future. You just go for it.
Now get some drink down you. You're breaking my heart.
How long are we supposed to be hanging on to this?
He tends to slide through your fingers.
Don't let me fall. They'll think I'm Charlie Tringham.
No, put him down somewhere.
Where'd you put a person who's mourning a mouse?
You've got to help me, Cleggy. I think Bill's becoming suspicious.
Of you? No. Why should she do that?
So if Bill could just see you in biker gear, Cleggy, just once should be enough.
Try more than enough. The answer is no, Howard.
And if Bill could just see you tinkering with it.
As long as it means I don't have to tinker with Marina.
She's not the tinkering kind.
You sure you've been reading the right handbook?
Just ladies, Barry. My friends.
I thought I was your friend. How can you do this to your friends?
Surprise them. Don't be shy. Be firm. Dominate the conversation for a few minutes and then you can go.
Okay.
Okay?
If that's what you want.
Bill's inside. All he has to do is walk past the window in his biker's gear.
You can do that, Clegg. One window. Oh, it's the new you, Clegg. We're all impressed.
Are you sure there's nobody out there?
There's Tom on his trolley.
And he's off his trolley.
You can trust us, we're your friends. That's just a little phrase I picked up from some double-glazing salesman.
If I should be seen, it must be explained that I am temporarily insane. It is a fate that overtakes anybody who lives next door to Howard.
She's not in.
Thank you, and good night.
She'll be at Glenda's for coffee. Can we just do a stroll past Glenda's?
Stroll? You don't stroll dressed like this. No, you arm wrestle with people who are wearing chains and large tattoos. And that's only the women.
Sounds like my Shirley.
You had a Shirley?
She was only on loan while her boyfriend was in hospital and she was between bikes.
I do enjoy a good love story.
Me too. But it gets harder all the time. Come on, Claggett.
No, I'm not walking round at Glenda's dressed like this.
Perhaps man with truck can be of service. How long you keep Tom in trolley?
Don't wake him. He's trying to forget a mouse.
Checks imposed.
I can ride round in the truck. Nobody's going to see you, Claggett.
Because I shan't be there.
Very slippery, these bikers. Need firm grip.
Round the throat.
Where's your truck, Ed Whistle?
On road. On way back we can call. Get him tattoo.
Thank you, Glenda. I thought I saw your Barry when we came in.
Yes, he'll be popping in a minute. He's on the computer. He does quite a bit of work now from home.
They do that these days. They come home to go to work. Oh, I'll never understand life anymore.
Did you ever understand life?
Enough to get by.
And that's enough for anybody.
I've always left understanding life to Travis. Well, you have to give them something to do.
In my experience, they'll find something anyway.
Doesn't Howard have a hobby?
Oh, he does. But I try to ensure he gets little opportunity to practice it.
My Barry often thinks about life. I catch him staring into space. He says it fills him with awe and wonder.
Fills him, does it? But I bet he still doesn't miss many meals.
They don't. They've got biological clocks that need winding every 4 hours.
And a tweak between meals.
Travis is quite a dainty eater. I sometimes think he's more ladylike than me.
My Barry's quite good with a napkin. You can hardly see where he's been.
I was brought up in the old school. I never believe they've enjoyed it if they don't splash a bit.
It's all right until you take them anywhere. Then you spend all the time applying their handbrake.
Weddings are the worst. There are people wearing these lovely new clothes and things on the menu that you just know your husband's never going to be able to resist.
Weddings are difficult. If I get a new hat, Travis thinks there's another man.
Well, you should get hats like Nora's.
What's wrong with my hats?
Nothing. But you have to admit they're above suspicion.
Just needs good kick.
My feelings exactly.
Here. Hold the bike steady. I'll handle the throttle. Alvin, you kick the starter. Give it some risk. Attract the ladies' attention.
I shall attract enough attention just dressed like this.
We're not asking for wheelies, Cleggy. Just rev her up a bit.
Do they do sandwiches?
I wonder where Shirley is now.
Never mind, Shirley. Better wonder where Tom is now.
Let's get after it. Off you go then, Clegg. It's down to you now.
It is Cleggy.
I don't want to do that again.
I got your back, didn't I?
You got us lost first, though, didn't you?
Lost? I don't hear that word. This is our patch, we don't get lost. There's a lot of open space on those moors. We were just temporarily disoriented.
I like that. Sounds much better than lost. We were still lost, though, weren't we?
I was not lost.
Well, I were. And you were sitting next to me. It was very embarrassing following that kid on his bicycle.
It's better than asking directions. I'd draw the line at asking a kid for directions.
I just wish you hadn't walked up every hill.
The hills were bad. But I should have crapped him for picking blackberries.
Still, you knew what good ones were.
You do know your lips are purple, don't you?
As bad as yours?
Now, don't get up. Oh, hark at me. Why should you get up? You're the ladies. I'm the one that should be up. Oh, I am up.
Thank you, Barry.
Well, there you go. Anyway, seeing as I'm up, I thought, Barry, why don't you pop in and say hello to the ladies? So consider this a pop.
Thank you, Barry.
Make yourselves at home. There'll always be a welcome.
Thank you, Barry. That will do.
Do you know, I could chat all day. I really...
Go, Barry.
I don't usually get up at this stop.
Is she watching?
She's really watching. That's why net curtains were invented.
If she asks, what are we supposed to be looking for?
Something female. Lady's earring.
That should do it.
Avoiding me, Claggy. You don't answer me calls.
How long have you been in there? I mean, have you got food and water? Suppose I didn't come to the bin.
You always come at this time.
Are you telling me that I'm a creature of habit?
You can set your clock by it.
Well, there you go. People say it's amazing what you can learn from the contents of your wheelie bin.
I'm sorry I shouted at you, Travis. Now come out. You can sulk indoors. Do come out, Travis, before the word gets round that I keep you in a shed. Travis?
The Crowcroft challenge?
We thought we'd give it a whack.
When he says we, of course he means he thought he'd give it a whack. He opened his big gob in the pub last night.
I had a little drink taken. You should have shot me up.
I know that now, but at the time I was as mellow as you were.
The Crowcroft challenge. To go from Morton to Thaxley in a straight line, as the crow flies, over all obstacles. Any proceeds to charity. Often attempted but never successfully completed since Squire Crowcroft first issued the challenge in 1827.
Must have been a good year for idiots.
The general feeling is that one has to be an idiot to even attempt it.
You're in, Alvin. You've got the qualifications.
The last person to attempt it was a Mr. Marsden. He collapsed with heat exhaustion and was rushed to hospital.
Obviously a wimp. He should have stuck to his needlework.
Sounds more you. Needlework.
The secret's in the training.
Well, they say the costume is the real burden. Oh, the Crowcroft challenge. I think it shows a wonderful spirit.
Not to mention lack of judgment.
Nobody's perfect.
He'll make a bog of it.
Yeah, well, yes, probably, but I suggest we don't interfere.
Obviously, the secret is to pick the best route, fewest obstacles.
So you are determined to interfere?
Well, it should be good for a laugh.
Well, but not for him.
No, not for him. But I don't see why we shouldn't enjoy it.
Legs look familiar. It's Alvin.
Ain't nobody here but us crows.
Don't be shy. If you want to dress up in feathers, I won't tell.
It's a challenge.
I can see where it would be, especially on public transport. You want lift?
I thought you'd never ask.
I bet he's got lost.
Well, he has a map.
Well, that's it then. Definitely lost. He should never have been allowed to wander off without being accompanied by an adult.
If only we knew one.
That is not something I would like to see perched on my clothesline.
I suppose you can't grumble if it's for charity.
Since when have you not been able to grumble?
I like to keep in practice.
You sure you need the practice?
Why did Squire Crowcroft insist on this?
Oh, well, because clearly Squire Crowcroft was a man of a humorous turn of mind who should have been strangled at birth.
Or even later. Here, where's your map?
There's a pocket under the tail.
Well, you're on your own then. I'm not fishing about under there.
It's at times like this you learn who your friends are.
Clegg.
You've got your key. Why are you standing there?
Am I standing here? Yes, I suppose, technically. I'm standing here.
Come in before somebody thinks I'm having strange gentleman callers.
I can do that. I can do strange gentleman caller. I can do anything. How about this for strange?
Stop that. Suppose you stayed like that. I'd have to keep you in the cellar.
I'm flying high, babe. I'm not the cellar type.
Why did you ring the doorbell?
It's a day for bells.
Have you lost your key?
Key.
It's the metal thing you open the door with.
I have keys. I have keys for every occasion. Today, I found the key to life. To golf, actually, but for many of us it comes a close second.
What happened to golf that made it so special?
I happen to golf. Aye, me, Mr. Perfect Swing. I found the secret. It's the elbow.
I'm very happy you've got a secret elbow.
I was magnificent. People who never spoke to me before said hi.
That's it. Hi.
Dwayne Dobbs, who's reputed to be a millionaire, called me Barry.
Wasn't he the one who went to prison?
Only a nice one. And the captain nodded at me.
Just nodded.
He didn't turn away muttering. He didn't look at me as though he just had to wipe me off his shoes. He saw me. And he nodded.
It's not like you've been blessed by the Pope.
Close.
Are you sure competitors can pick their own route and go absolutely anywhere?
Anywhere between Morton and Faxley.
That's my idea of a challenge. I like the flexibility.
And we know why you like the flexibility.
Here. Now, you pick your own route, you fix the compass bearing, and you follow it without moving off it.
I can do that.
You never kept to a straight line in your life.
I don't know why people say that.
You can't go round any obstacles. You either go over or under or straight through. You keep to a straight line, exactly as the crow flies.
I expect there are people who cheat.
They'll all be under the supervision of an umpire.
Oh, you mean you have to have some busybody with you? You mean people can't trust the word of a gentleman?
Look at him. Don't you just hate it when the crow next door gets all gloomy?
Now, with regard to staff training...
How long have we had staff training?
You're getting some now if you'll just shut up a minute. All businesses at the cutting edge of modern retailing are required to set aside time for staff training.
Can't we do it sitting down?
No, you can't do it sitting down. Do you think Marks and Spencer's do it sitting down? You'll be sitting down enough now you've got the new vehicle.
New vehicle?
It's better than pushing a cart.
I was wondering if you had another crow costume.
For you? Ooh, you'd need padding to be a blackbird. Oh, you're joking. I'm sure we can transform you into an acceptable crow.
And while I'm here, I might as well pick up another one for a friend.
Guess who for?
What size?
Oh, I can't say really. Not with any precision. I don't know him all that well.
Is he entering the Crowcroft challenge as well?
You might know. Anything loopy and he's there. I mean, I've warned him. The first cat's going to have him.
I wish Travis would go loopy occasionally.
Well, he must do sometimes, surely.
He once fell off a sideboard. That's about as wild as it gets.
You've got a treasure there.
What was he doing on a sideboard?
I never asked. Well, if he wants to be on a sideboard, who am I to interfere?
Didn't he leave marks on the sideboard?
He's very considerate.
I would never have allowed mine on the sideboard.
Well, he was like Howard. He could barely reach the sideboard.
Right, now, that's your bearing. You stay on it at all times. We'll go by road and meet you at point B.
Where the heck's point B?
It's on the map. You marked it.
Oh, right. That point B.
I can see I'm in good hands.
Just don't get your feathers in a fuss.
Right. Off you go.
They're gonna get lost. We'll never see them again.
How can they get lost? They've got map and compass.
I just have this feeling, too. Skeletons somewhere on the moors.
Alvin could find his way to the nearest pub blindfold.
It's finding his way home again he's not so good at.
And if they do go missing, who's gonna report it? Can you imagine somebody asking for a description?
Look at this. He's celebrating. Since last week, I guess. It's better. Once safe on road.
Who called the ambulance? I think it's marvellous you got here so quick.
Where do you live? Where's home?
Home? I demand a second opinion. I am not going home in this condition. My wife doesn't understand me.
I'm not surprised. You talk like your jaw's been wired.
Yes, I noticed that. You don't think it's fatal?
I think it's called being disgustingly drunk.
Thank you. That's a relief. Call me sentimental, but you run a very fine taxi service.
You wait there a minute.
Certainly.
The last one was sick in car.
I'm not going through that again.
What are we going to do with him?
He's not safe on the road. I suggest we throw him over the wall.
It's for his own good. He'll be safer in field.
Funny how life turns out. They say at school, what you want to be? I say, multi-millionaire.
Maybe they had no vacancies.
You should have worn a tie.
I committed suicide on leaving school. Well, almost. I became a lino salesman, which is as close as you can get without a gun or a rope.
You didn't like lino?
How can you like lino? It's cold, it cracks, it smells. Oh, people used to put it in their bathrooms, which were already the coldest places on earth.
That's why we never had fridges. The English bathroom was just as good.
Could this be why people went to Africa, India?
Oh, absolutely. We had to colonize the world. Cold lino was the driving force behind the empire. People would go anywhere to avoid it.
Hey, there they are.
I thought we were going by road.
We're getting the scenic route.
I demand a recount.
Hey, look.
Okay, forget recount.
What do you make of that then?
They're not sparrows, that's for sure.
What is it? Can anybody look? If you're seeing things like that, you must be as drunk as I am.
Go and wait by the car. You can't miss it. It's got police all over it.
What do you think?
How do we get through this then?
Well, take a run and a jump.
We'll never clear that.
Have you tried?
Dressed like this?
Why don't you try flapping wings?
And you try not flapping your lip.
I would say, if at first you don't succeed, it's time to go home. But that, of course, is the philosophy of a lino salesman.
Did you ever sell much lino with that philosophy?
Well, no, not really, no. My colleague was often caught with his finger up his nose. It kept the faithful at bay.
I think I knew him. Did he have big nose?
Well, he was working on it.
Can we get back to our problem here?
We could take these things off, crawl through and put them back on.
Won't do. Breach of rules. We'll have to improvise.
How are we going to explain this one?
There'll have to be something creative.
How far have you got?
I'm gang.
I like it so far. Go on.
After a desperate struggle, we were overcome.
We had 'em worried though, didn't we?
They'll think twice about pinching our police card again.
We're in some deep clag, aren't we?
It's not looking good, is it? I remember the fuss they made when we lost a dometer. One dometer?
No!
We can't pack up at the first obstacle.
Works for me.
Of course you can't pack in. Plan B. Use your wings for balance.
Just be careful where you're shoving. At this rate, and they never lay again.
Where's this pocket he's supposed to have?
That's not a pocket. Stop talking about.
Where I've been today, I don't wish to be widely known.
Push! He's slipping back!
Oh, there's no brake pads on these feet.
Get your shoulders behind him.
And more behind than shoulders.
I think I found pocket!
Wrong! What's it in? What's it in?
Watch it!
Are you going golfing again? That's twice today.
I'm hot, Glenda. I'm like a fluid golfing machine. I've got to use it while I've got it.
Are you always going to be leaving me twice a day?
No. No, it's just that today is special. The captain nodded at me.
Stay home. I'll nod at you.
Glenda, I am on the brink of greatness.
You're on the brink of a sharp reduction in your quality of life.
Right then, Bristol, back it up. Come on, as you go. Straight as you go. Come on, that's it. Wait, hold it. Move. That's it. Problem solved. You climb onto the truck, on the planks, and jump over the hedge.
Well, what's on the other side?
Freedom. You're back on target again.
This is not best view of Crow.
Just don't be looking for any more pockets.
I think we were faster on the handcart.
I don't like racing about.
Well, we got the ideal vehicle for not racing about.
Better than pushing. Now what?
I don't know, but I don't think it's a speeding ticket.
Did you have a ladies' coffee morning when you lived away?
Oh, they were compulsory. The coffee was all right, but the preparation was tiring.
What did you have to prepare?
Your dialogue. You were expected to be word perfect in whatever it was you were going to swank about.
Well, what happened if you didn't bother preparing?
Oh, then you were condemned just to listen to what the others were swanking about.
I think I've been to one of those.
Not here, you haven't.
No, not here. It was the wife of a colleague of Barry's, showing her holiday films. Went on forever. I think her tan had nearly worn off by the time it was over.
They get tanned in places you never used to see.
Oil and heat. They look like roast potatoes.
Roast potatoes were a no-no where we were. The rule of thumb for healthy living was, if it tastes good, it's going to kill you.
I could kill him next door. I think he's got a woman in.
He pulls your leg.
He was on his hands and knees with Truly looking for an earring.
They're having you on.
I don't see why he should think I'm interested in whether he has a woman in or not.
Is he a womanizer?
Well, aren't they all?
What about Norman Clegg?
All right, aren't they all except for Norman Clegg?
My Wally wasn't a womanizer.
We don't have to look far to see what put him off.
I sometimes think golf is as big a threat to a marriage.
Well, at least they have to keep score. They soon learn how good they are at it. With women, even the worst players think they're ready for turning pro.
Travis shows no signs of interest in winning or golf. It isn't as though he's on any form of medication. Well, he takes an aspirin occasionally, but I can't see that wiping out his deepest instincts.
Perhaps he hasn't got any deepest instincts.
They've all got deepest instincts. What do you think the honeymoons are for? We've got the best part of a week to cure them of any ambitions in that
I enjoyed my honeymoon.
I enjoyed mine. It only rained one day.
Cakes?
Oh.
we get a bit more baba boom out of this thing?
It's going flat out!
Hope I don't get thorns in my face again.
Pull your visors down then.
That do, Barry?
How's it going, Barry?
I've never seen him before. I don't know anybody who looks like that.
I hope you're having more fun than me, Barry.
We forgot the crisps.
You forgot the crisps. I forgot the nuts.
Did you see that?
See what?
2 crows.
Crows?
Carrying a tray of drinks.
Lager or bitter?
Hands up, anyone see 2 crows carrying tray?
I think he needs a drink.
I'm giving it up.
Pull up a chair, sit down. Have a cup of tea with your neighbour.
And get a reputation for dallying with unmarried men?
Nobody's offering dallying. The sweetest you'll get is a bit of sugar for your tea.
I can't be dawdling about. I've got some baking to do.
Who are you baking for? You live alone, woman. What does it matter if you don't bake for once?
It's Tuesday. Tuesdays you bake.
Tuesdays you bake.
She's the old school.
And you know what happened to that? They pulled it down.
I wouldn't go that far. She just needs a lick of paint and a smile transplant.
They never get one to fit.
How long we stopping here? I'm thirsting for action. I'm feeling underused.
You don't like staring at water?
Well, not all day.
Oh, we were going to break for lunch.
We could be doing something
stupid.
That's it. I knew we'd think of something.
Well, don't look at me. I sleep in pyjamas too thick for playful dreams.
Bet they're no thicker than mine. They were all that slept between me and the former Mrs. True Love.
Mine are lightweight. Polka dot.
I hope that never becomes well known. I wouldn't know where to start making excuses for you.
You have a tendency towards being flash, Alvin.
I prefer to think of it as
you're assaulting the car for?
I'm listening to it.
I know you've always talked to them as if they were human, but I never realised they were answering back.
I've got a squeak.
I'll still love you, Barry, even with a squeak.
I'm being serious. I think it reflects badly on the owner if his vehicle has a squeak. Come and listen to it while I rock it.
Mother warned me. She said men would come along with some very weird invitations.
So, I'm on my knees with armfuls of books, and he walks straight past me.
They do. They walk straight past. You feel like it's time to lower your sights. Or even your skirts.
I didn't even see I was in difficulties.
And getting into those is not as easy as it used to be.
I mistook him for a gentleman.
Been there, done that. Oh, but not recently.
I know that type too, but no, not recently.
Must be good dancer.
How can you tell?
It's him. It's in the advert. Lady seeks partner. Tall, slim, unattached, must be good dancer.
Well, he looks unattached.
I don't think it's worth the bother.
You have to believe it's always worth the bother.
Where's the bother? We'd brush your dancing up a bit. Now, what have you got to show him where to put his feet?
I usually put my foot through things.
Does he have rhythm?
I've got rheumatics in what I've got.
Do them good as well. Now, what have you got to give him some social polish?
Polish? I think you'll need a good undercoat first.
Excuse me. What we're looking at here is, could he be turned into Cinderella?
I think he'd do better aiming for Ugly Sister.
It was his idea.
Oh, we gathered that. That's his trademark. The triumph of hope over reality.
It just came to me. I'm watching him load the vehicle.
That's what he does. He watches, I load the vehicle.
I'm the ideas man. I can't get too wrapped up in the hustle and bustle, else you lose the wider perspective.
I must get to Weight Watchers. I've been losing the wider perspective for some time now. A gentleman would have insisted that I'd be a fool to tamper with nature.
I think a bit of tampering wouldn't hurt.
You're right. He does need some polish.
Don't they all? The age of elegance is dead.
You can't say that. I got polka dot pyjamas.
And in the force, madam, I was known as a bit of a toff. Even in the vice squad, I was known as a gent, which isn't always easy when you're undercover wearing a frock. By some lucky chance, this man has fallen into exactly the right hands.
Morning.
Morning.
Gadding out again?
I'm not going anywhere.
What are you all dressed up for?
Oh, I'm not dressed up. I'm working.
Well, it looks like dressed up.
You picked up some funny habits while living away.
Well, you had to get dressed up, if only in self-defence.
You look fine, love. Take no notice. We can't all have this flair for looking derelict. Where do you think you're going?
I only realised this morning it's been ages since I practised any woodcraft.
Get back inside. You want woodcraft, you got that skirting board to paint.
You'll be sorry if ever you have to rely on me for hunting our food.
Does he always make a noise like that?
Only when he's depressed. In a good mood, he gets louder.
He has good moods.
Oh, aye. He gets quite playful.
Oh, maybe the lady will accept playful instead of must be good dancer.
No need. All he's got to do is look like a dancer. Just needs a bit of practice.
Or maybe a lot.
We can make him look like a dancer, then take his picture. Something he can show the ladies.
I don't have to dance?
Not at this stage. 1 or 2 pictures of you that look as if you're dancing should get you started.
I can do that. I could have my picture took.
Well, of course you can. Which is your best side?
He says it's from the back.
I was only kidding. You nearly look like a dancer already. All the ingredients are there.
And something went wrong in the oven.
Oh, it's all there. He's tall, slim, and look at the legs on him. Put it all together and what do you see?
I'm not sure, but it's never going to be in big demand.
Wrong. What we're looking at is a dancer's figure, potentially elegant. What we've got here is basically Fred Astaire.
I'm too tall for Fred Astaire.
You see how unfair life is. If it hadn't been for that, it could have been you with Ginger Rogers.
So he's tall. What we've got here basically is 1.5 Fred Astaire's.
Yes, well, I'll go with you as far as Fred, but...
Here, Smiler, stand up. Now then. Tall, slim, with a figure like that, plus a little polish, and you've got Cary Grant. Smooth him off a bit, and it's goodbye, Smiler, hello, Casanova.
I thought he was dead.
He is dead. He can't be like the live one straight away.
Oh, well, if you're settling for a dead one, then he's in with a chance.
Now, what do dancers wear?
Never stir paint clockwise. Rembrandt always stirred anti-clockwise.
I never knew that.
Told to me personally by his cousin.
It's all right for you lot, footloose and fancy-free.
Very few of my fancies were ever free.
What are you doing with Top Hat and Tails?
We're creating Cinderella.
Cinderella was female.
Was, until she got wrong side of Wicked Witch.
What did she do?
Stirred paint clockwise.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it, but I can't tell where it's coming from.
Maybe you could get lower.
I'm nearly on the floor now.
Could you put your ear to the floor?
Well, of course. It's what I've always wanted. I thought you'd never ask.
I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important to me.
If I'm doing ears on floor, you keep your eyes on the road, Barry.
Sorry.
Look what they brought you. Instant Fred Astaire.
Nobody wears that stuff anymore.
Well, you can start the fashion again.
You could earn a place in history, Smiler. The man who brought back elegance.
You'll get a grateful letter from the tailor and cotter.
I'm too tall for top hats. I'll never get under low bridges.
You can bend at the knees. You're a dancer. You've a flexible knee.
Maybe both knees.
But suppose they get out of control.
Don't listen to him, Smiler. You've got to have an air of confidence. It says, these knees are precision instruments.
Where do I get an air of confidence?
You asked that in the presence of this man here?
He's Entwistle Electrics.
And instructor of ancient art of air of confidence. Plus, anyway, he'll be taking a picture.
Using own camera. That'll be extra.
There's always a snag.
There's more than one. For Fred Astaire, his feet are too big.
Some of my best friends' feet are too big. Put your hat on, Smiler, then nobody's going to be looking at your feet.
Where's he going in that?
Oh, he's going to capture a lady's heart.
Does it work?
Does it work? White tie and tails, ladies can't resist. It's the honey pot, they come like flies.
I only want one.
Well, they'll just have to brush the others off.
Was there something, Howard?
I forget.
Is it more in your right ear or your left ear?
It's beginning to get up my nose, Barry.
Let's hope the endless battle for law and order simmers down long enough for us to get stuck into these sandwiches.
I'll drink to that. His head's on backwards.
I noticed that.
No wonder he's driving like that.
If you ever see him do it again, we'll have him.
Well, you don't want to have him now?
I would say yes, except for the mitigating circumstances.
What mitigating circumstances?
Well, it wasn't bad for someone who was head on backwards.
You remember Betsy Robinson?
The name, but I can't put a face to it.
I shouldn't bother. The face she had then isn't the one she has now.
She's been through 2 husbands. You don't accomplish that without a few marks.
I never liked her mother.
Quite right. I mean, love thy neighbours all very well, but not when it's someone with inflated ideas about the puff pastry. I always felt sorry for him. He had to reckon to like it. I used to see him moping in the garden, trying to work off her Eccles cakes.
Did she?
Did she what?
Have inflated ideas about her baking. I mean, I've seen you before. You were always a bit defensive about your buns. You weren't really keen on competition.
Oh, she was no competition. She had no instinct for how much lard.
Oh, don't. That was a naughty word where we were.
What word?
Lard.
What's wrong with saying lard?
Nothing, until you move to where they think it's obscene.
How can lard be obscene?
They have this fear of fat. It's a religious thing. They're all devout low cholesterol.
In some funny company. If they don't bake with lard, what do they bake with?
Well, they don't bake. Nobody bakes. They just wouldn't be seen dead without all the latest low-fat ingredients.
That place must have been full of neglected husbands looking for old-fashioned comfort.
Oh, you can find them anywhere.
Oh, excuse me. Travis, what have you done? How can you get your foot fast in a drawer? What was your foot doing in a drawer? Stay there. Don't pull anything else down, I'm coming. I'll have to go. Oh, bless him. It badly affected his coordination, living in foreign parts.
I think he does it on purpose, so that she comes running home.
Oh, I couldn't do with a husband as affectionate as that. You wouldn't feel free to be nasty.
Oh, I've no doubt you'd manage.
Well, I'd try, but you wouldn't feel comfortable.
Just stay there, Travis. I'm on my way.
Ah, Nellie. Would you mind posing for a picture with a Fred Astaire lookalike? It's a charitable thing.
Oh, well, if it's for charity.
Over here.
Fine, don't worry about it.
Come along, Smiler. Nellie's waiting.
I can't do it. I've changed my mind. My feet are too big.
Don't be so silly.
What's wrong with your feet?
I'm sorry, I can't wait. I've got Travis fast in a drawer.
Come along, man. You can't keep the lady waiting.
You'll be all right. Couple of quick snaps.
Big smile and it's all over.
Just hold the lady as if you're dancing.
What are you doing, you long loony? Get off!
You can't pack it in because of one nasty experience. We'll find you a female that's more cooperative.
And speaking of which...
Works. It works.
Up there?
Yes. There's not enough excitement in those pictures.
I found it quite exciting being snatched up as I walked past.
Needs more va-va-voom.
I'm game if he is.
He's ready for va-va-voom. I can feel it.
Fred Astaire and his sister once danced on the roof of a taxi.
I'm not paying for a taxi.
You're doing it up here in Entwistle's truck. Alvin will take the pictures. You look really Fred Astaire if you can dance in a moving truck. Right, stand by. You can do it, Smiler. Think of the drama, the effect. You'll look sensational.
You want us to dance on the roof of a moving milk float?
Well, you won't pay for a taxi.
Excuse me, wouldn't it be dangerous?
No, what's dangerous about it? Well, maybe just a bit.
A bit which you can overcome by skill and daring.
How is he on skill and daring?
I always felt he had it in him.
You never said.
I was waiting for the right occasion.
And here it is.
Lucky you.
Not only the right occasion, but your act of skill and daring will be captured on camera.
That puts me in a quandary.
What's your problem?
I'm not sure which is my best side to be photographed from whilst falling from a milk float.
We make you fall twice. I get you both sides.
No need for any falling. You'll be driving steadily.
That's all this thing does is steadily.
Think of the impact when you show the pictures to your lady.
Think of the impact when you take a nosedive off the roof.
Oh, stop winding him up. He'll be fine.
Good heavens. Your nerves, lad. You need a tonic. And I've got just the thing.
Well, what were you doing down there, Auntie?
Oh, looking for the phantom sixpence. I'll find it yet.
Well, what's a phantom sixpence?
It's the one you can't find. I dropped it. I know it's there somewhere.
It's a while since I've seen a sixpence.
It's a while since I've seen that one. I hate losing things.
Oh, when did you drop it?
1953. Still, that's enough of my troubles. There you are.
What's that?
Your tonic.
It's a cuckoo clock.
They're very soothing. It's a medical fact. They use them in Switzerland instead of anaesthetic.
I never knew that.
Oh, they don't tell everybody. I'm only allowed to tell you because you've bought all this stuff.
But I haven't bought anything yet.
That's only because I haven't sold it to you yet.
I don't want a cuckoo clock. I want some elegant evening wear. I thought maybe top hat and tails.
How daft can you get? Oh, don't get me wrong. I like daft.
It's very attractive in a customer. Now let me think. Elegant evening wear with a pocket for your cuckoo clock.
Well, go on then. Up you go.
Once you're up, we'll patch Marina up.
I wish I'd worn something more suitable for being handled roughly.
Got an outfit for every occasion?
It never hurts to be prepared.
You're all looking. Of course we're all looking. You're the centre of attention here. It's your big moment.
I don't want anybody looking while I'm climbing up.
Listen at him. He's getting all temperamental.
Stardom's gone straight to his head.
You point camera, they all become Madonna.
Not from this angle.
If it's a Madonna lookalike you're after, I'm sure there's something much closer.
Turn your backs on him, people, if it makes him nervous. Let's get this show on the road. Are you happy now? Can we proceed?
No peeping.
Nobody's looking at you. Get on with it.
It sounds very difficult. A girl might need a hand.
No free hand, mine on camera.
Are you up yet? How's it going, Smiler?
I'm not as nimble as I used to be.
You never were.
It's a good view.
Oh, that's nice. We're standing here like muffins and he's enjoying the view.
And look,
You call this luck? Your husband locks you in the boot.
I wouldn't trust anybody else. You're the only woman I'd ever lock in the boot.
You're not just saying that.
No?
Oh, Barry, you certainly know how to coax a girl into your boot.
Did you locate the squeak?
Getting closer. It's somewhere in this area.
Oh, that's great. You're great in the boot. Let's give it another try.
I thought Glenda would be here.
I thought Glenda would be here.
Oh, I expect she's busy.
I saw her in the car with Barry.
Oh, he does drive it then, as well as polish it.
They seem very close.
Oh, they go everywhere together. Ooh.
Get you right here to the carpet.
There he is again.
That's just damn cheeky. We'll have him this time.
Expecting rain, Howard?
Does that look good or what?
Why, Howard, that's very smart.
Well, you have to make the effort occasionally.
Take the stride. Heave. 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 Heave.
This place gets weirder. Started keeping the wives in boots.
Shows initiative, though, wouldn't you say?
It's a bit cheeky in broad daylight.
I was just giving you lady a glimpse under my raincoat.
I'm taller. I bet I'm 2 inches taller.
Auntie will cut you down to size when she sees her milk float.
I think we better have a collection for him. He's going to find it expensive.
Well, must go.
Oh, hey! What about the collection?
I supplied rope.
It's all a mistake, Cleggy.
Friend of yours? Huh? Promise to vouch for him, we'll let him go.
Vouch for him?
It's close enough.
Hey, God. I've just adopted Howard.
What do you want?
I want 2 or 3 of those buns you're baking.
You can want on. They're not for consuming on the premises. They're my entries for the Stockley show.
You are looking at the Northern Hemisphere's premier bun taster. You'd be unwise to miss this opportunity for having your buns thoroughly tested.
I'll bring you one back if you're lucky.
Yeah, I prefer them fresh from the oven. They're at their peak right now.
Which is more than can be said for you.
You're a hard woman. Are there no exceptions for persons that you have a very close relationship with?
I have none of those kind of relationships with anybody.
If you're going to keep baking like that, perhaps you might like to reconsider.
Howard? It is. It's Howard.
Oh, dear. Look at the time. I wish we could stop.
Hey, aren't you going to introduce me to the lady?
This is Wanda. Nice to see you, Wanda. Herbert Truelove.
Good morning, Wanda.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Truelove.
Can't stop.
Hey, what's the gallop all of a sudden?
He was always impulsive.
She exaggerates. We never got as far as impulsive.
You little devil.
You know you left your bicycle pump, Howard.
You left your bicycle pump?
I don't remember leaving a bicycle pump.
Is she the only one? Maybe you left a trail of bicycle pumps.
I deny that.
How long will we keep this up?
Till we feel fit.
Okay. I feel fit.
Me too. I told you we'd soon feel the benefit.
Feels a lot like being exhausted.
They say it's good for you.
You think maybe they lied?
They say it gets better.
Better than this, not difficult.
What?
You look...
What?
I'm at a loss for words.
Try attractive.
That's it, you look attractive.
You don't need to act as if it's a miracle. I've done it before.
Well, yes. Before. But don't you think you're getting a bit old for attractive?
The way you're going, you'll not be getting much older.
I just think that's a bit overdressed for Stockley Show.
Do you want me to go looking like a bag lady?
I like you looking like a bag lady. I feel more comfy with you looking like a bag lady.
You are within 0.1% of a painful death.
I just think you're overdoing it for a baking competition. There's a bit too much fancy decoration, if you want my opinion.
Your opinion? You don't have opinions. You have hot flushes, and you follow them anywhere.
I have nothing to be ashamed of.
That's a wasted line on someone who's seen you with your shirt off.
What time will you be back?
I'll be back when I'm back. Why?
Oh, just planning ahead. It's a man thing.
I know what kind of thing it is. What are you planning ahead?
As a matter of fact, and despite all your suspicions, I shall be testing myself to the limits of physical endurance.
What? Does that mean I can stop warming your pyjamas?
I didn't ask you to warm my pyjamas.
No. You got your mother to ask me.
You can stop if it's too much trouble.
And waste all that excitement. And where will you be testing yourself to the limits of endurance?
On a training hike with Entwistle and Tom. We're going cross-country. It's a paratrooper thing.
Howard and Wanda?
A bit of previous there. He looked a mite guilty.
Oh, that was almost the equivalent of being engaged.
Oh, very free with his accessories, that Howard.
Was she pleased to see him?
Well, I don't think he'd have had any trouble leaving another pump.
Isn't it amazing how far you can get with a good bicycle?
I don't remember the woman.
She was a Teesdale. She married some lump who traded her in for something younger.
It's funny how so few of them prefer age and experience.
Yeah. How's she looking these days?
Hungry. Bit of a predator. I would say she's looking for love, or even something like Howard.
How hungry can you get?
She's dyed her hair jet black. I thought it was a helmet.
But Howard recognised her.
He went quite white. You could see his love life flashing before his eyes. There must have been something there at one time.
It can't be easy, B. Howard. You've got the ambitions of an Errol Flynn, but only a bicycle.
Do you think Pearl remembers Wanda?
I'm not sure she remembers Howard. He's always missing.
Here's your coffee, Barry.
Oh, thank you.
There's plenty in the fridge for your lunch. I've wrapped it in cling film.
Oh, there's no greater love than having stuff wrapped in cling film.
It shows I care.
You're a good lass. You only ever had one fault. And that was your mother.
That's not fair. You know she loved you.
She gave me socks for Christmas.
Only once.
That's all it took. They were so thick they never wore out. She gave me permanent socks.
She always bought things to last.
And you had to wear them. She used to check, is he wearing my socks?
Where are they, by the way?
I gave them to Oxfam. I think they made 4 houses out of them.
How do I look? I'm off.
You look fine. You look like you're married to someone with normal socks.
It's just his head that's woolly. Will he be all right?
I'll be fine.
I don't want you being fine. I'd rather you missed me.
I'm missing you already. But go and have a day out with the ladies. I've plenty to do right here. It'll give me a chance to catch up.
I wish I could wrap you in cling film and know you were all right.
That's a very saucy idea. Are you sure you're really in the mood for a baking competition?
No, stop it, stop it. I can't bear the sight of human suffering.
Oh, you get used to it.
I'll show wife. She thinks I'm not fit.
I used to be able to do more than that. I used to be Iron Man Alvin.
Oh, you used to do the ironing.
I still do the ironing.
But with a big iron.
It's my intention to have muscles like Nora Batty.
We look for special tingle that comes from fighting fit. We go cross-country.
Entwistle's going for a tingle.
This is serious. Wife's stronger than me.
They usually are.
At Kung Fu?
Stick with us. We'll have you fit again.
With us? Who else is going cross-country?
Just Howard.
Oh, Howard started playing with the boys. When Pearl's going to be away at the Stockley show.
We'll believe that when we see it.
It was his idea.
It's a paratrooper thing.
I'm leaving you in charge. Ooh, I hate leaving you in charge. So why am I leaving you in charge?
Because you got nobody else.
Correct. So you see what a pickle I'm in.
Relax. Go and enjoy yourself.
Enjoy? It's business. Enjoy is for people who are only fit to be customers.
Don't you know how to enjoy yourself?
Ooh, look who's talking.
I have my moments.
When? When have you had a moment? Oh, don't bother. Just concentrate on minding the store.
I bet I'll think of one when you're gone. If you ever go.
I'm going. Are you sure you can manage?
You keep asking that.
And you keep failing to convince me.
I can manage.
I'm still not convinced.
Go. Get off to the show. Enjoy yourself.
I'm not going for pleasure, it's for business. I want to spread the word about our new improvements.
What new improvements?
I'll think of something.
Great little mover once wife away.
He'll slow down when he's done a few miles. I've seen these toy boys before.
Never seen one like that.
A fine body of men.
It gets you right here. Thought that in this quiet corner of England, genuine doziness is alive and well.
I've never seen Howard so keen on male company.
It's the paratrooper thing.
Guess who's going to be first to bail out?
Oh, they're just his alibi. I bet he plans to lose them and just sneak away.
But where to?
Truly of the Yard will make it his business to find out.
Intrude on his privacy? What a good idea. What did you have in mind?
Be as sneaky as he is. Trust me, I'm fully trained.
It begins to feel like I'm the only one not going to the show.
There's plenty of room for you.
Thank you. I'm spoken for. I have another engagement.
I used to have those kind of other engagements. And then life wears you down until you end up with only a bunting.
I never thought to see you clutching a bunting.
I know. There was a time when I was a free spirit, emotionally carefree, beyond the reach of baking.
What are you entering?
My fruit scones. there are those who would scarcely believe in a connection between Lucinda Davenport and home-baked fruit scones. I used to be a creature of sparkle and light.
I've let a few sparklers off myself.
Actually, I quite enjoy baking. One gets fewer burns from an oven than from men.
True. Although it's a while since I've had any blisters. Good luck with your scones. Though you'll be up against some fierce competition.
I'm not afraid. You don't need a ring on your finger to do all that a wife can.
That's always been my opinion.
And don't be giving any discounts without calling me. You've got this number. I wrote it down. What have you done? Why is your nose bleeding? Travis, why have you hit your nose with a coat hanger? You were hanging your suit away. I hope you're not bleeding in the wardrobe. Well, where are you bleeding? Travis, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
I ought to get Howard a phone. Although, he's often where you wouldn't expect good reception.
Travis?
What has Miss Davenport got in them tins?
Oh, I expect it's buns. She must be entering.
Do they allow unmarried buns?
You've gone. You've gone altogether. Travis, if you can hear me, don't bleed indoors. Take a turn round the garden.
Just a minute.
I'm sure I can find a minute for any legitimate purpose.
He was the just a minute. I'm just backup.
I'm glad we spotted you. Actually, we were just looking for you.
For me?
He was looking the hardest.
You're quite shy. We have so much in common.
What we have is a message for you from Howard.
How nice. Whoever he is.
Make sure she's got the right instructions, he said. Make sure the lady knows exactly where we're supposed to meet.
The lady knows. He's told me 3 times already. He's even drawn me a plan. X marks the spot. Although I don't think that implies anything significant.
Yes, that's it. You've got it. Well done.
Come along. Hold your puff. We're pacing ourselves.
Fitter than he looks.
He's going like a ferret. Must be all that ground he covers with Marina. She's kept him fit.
I expect she's more fun than lifting weights.
Nora Batty's more fun than lifting weights.
You think so?
Purely guesswork, you understand.
You realise this is a very wicked thing to be doing to Howard?
Yes, isn't it?
I really must give you credit where it's due.
Don't stand there. Come in. I get so lonely.
Oh, loneliness could soon be a thing of the past. We have a message from Howard.
From Howard? I thought he seemed as if he didn't want to know me.
Oh, you knocked him for 6. Triggered all those powerful memories.
I expect he was victim of his own raging emotions.
Chewed his handkerchief all the way home.
His best handkerchief.
He chewed his handkerchief. For me.
I was there. I was touched.
All fire and raw nerves. You know how he is.
Actually, I was a bit disappointed. I remembered him as bigger.
He is bigger. You'd be surprised.
Can he be bigger?
That's what we said. It's uncanny.
I've never seen a man change so. He wants to meet you.
It's all very sudden. I don't know what to say. But where?
X marks the spot.
What are you going to do now, lad?
What's that for?
Security.
Why do we need security?
Not yours, ours. I'm under orders not to let anybody get away. The last one was here 2 hours before he bought anything. Then it was rubbish.
The speciality of the house. You did well there.
It's all very well locking customers in, but what about the ones who might want to get in?
A bird in hand. What can we do for you?
Oh, this lady requires some camouflage pattern clothing.
Will he like me in camouflage clothing?
He once said to me, I can't resist a good woman in camouflage clothing.
He said that?
Stuck in my mind. I remember as if it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Well, there you are, see.
Cam or Flage?
She needs exactly the same kind as Howard got for Marina.
For Marina?
Come on, lad.
I was hoping for a good day's work with no disturbances, Mr. Truelove.
Very commendable, lad. But this is for a lady in distress.
How much distress? I won't get any blood in the car, will I?
This is more emotional than physical. Yeah. The worst that can happen is your glasses steaming up.
That can be dangerous. You can't see clearly.
That's what emotion is for, lad. To stop you seeing clearly.
What?
Just a minute.
That's two just a minutes in one day. You're looking well, Barry.
I ought to be working.
If ever you need secretarial assistance, I have a full range of pencils.
That is computerized.
It's true. I'm basically a keyboard person.
Well, if ever you get bored with your keys, I hope you'll give pencils a chance.
I'm glad we caught you. There's been a change of plan. We have a message from Howard.
The name sounds familiar.
He wants you to meet him here, by the stream.
Oh, the stream. I always think it's so much more environmentally friendly by the stream. Thank you, kind sirs. Remember, my pencil is always at your disposal, Barry.
I think my glasses are steaming up.
Howard!
Howard! I thought he was with you.
Well, I thought he was with you.
Going too fast. Maybe a wheel came off.
You don't think the effort's been too much for him? Maybe we've overstretched him.
He didn't look overstretched. He looked better than we did.
Well, that's it, you see. Tried too hard. He's overdone it. He's probably lying somewhere in a coma. How's your first aid?
I can do wasp things.
Is that it? Wasp stings? It's to be hoped he's lying somewhere stung then, isn't it?
Or is it bee stings? You need vinegar for one, something else for the other.
Vinegar? That's for fish and chips. You don't think he's lying somewhere heavily battered?
I think he could have had a massive heart attack or could be dead.
Oh, I'm glad I asked. You have reached the limits of human endurance. There's no one here to take your call, but leave a message after the tone.
Beep!
It's truly. Right.
What does he want?
He wants me to meet a lady by a stream. Which stream?
Which lady?
He didn't say. Except she's a big fan of mine.
It's my Barry. Some psychic intuition must have told him I was stranded.
On the other hand, of course, it could be that he was just passing.
I don't know why we're parked here. It's boring.
It's because it's boring, that's why we're here. Trust me.
You've lost me.
We're here because we're anticipating trouble. That's what we do, isn't it? That's our duty, anticipating trouble.
Out here?
Any fool can look for trouble in the trouble spots, but who's watching the boring bits?
Just us. That's clever. Means we're one jump ahead.
Exactly. There's only us looking out for the neglected areas, where trouble's least expected. Is that thorough or what?
Makes you feel kind of proud.
This is most
Where do you lot think you're going?
We're going home. It's too late. We're going to live on buns for a week.
Not what I was expecting. The modern girl has to be flexible, don't you think?
Reliving old times, Howard?
That's a lie.
If we see anyone you know, is there any message, Howard? We mean, of course, apart from help.
I'll look after him.
I think she means it.
be rubbing your eye if you've got something in it.
Something feels like a block of flats.
Wet the end. Have you hanky? Wet the end.
OK, that's it. Done.
Done? I haven't finished yet.
Yes, you have. I have a bet with Entwhistle I could get you gazing into my eyes.
It was only one eye, you little weasel. It doesn't count.
Close enough.
I'd sooner be gazing at your back. At least you'd be going in the right direction.
Even with one eye, be honest, I bet your heart's beating faster.
There's no man makes my heart beat faster. They're better at giving you heartburn.
One eye not count.
You didn't say anything about both eyes.
I think that close to Nora Batty deserves a prize of some sort.
You're right. How many have been that close to Nora Batty and lived?
I imagine a scent of furniture polish and a trace of all-purpose cleaner.
With a hint of bleach.
Sounds powerfully attractive. Except, of course, to the opposite sex.
It should have been both eyes. One eye sneaky.
I am. I'm Alvin, Captain Sneaky.
I failed Sneaky.
I'm fond of a bit of sneaky myself. I was trained by the former Mrs. Truelove, a master of the art.
Hey, up! Man throwing rocks. Maybe something we said. Good.
Well, lady thought we were trespassing.
Out there, not trespassing.
Did anyone get a good look at him?
Well, I would describe him as an angry bloke throwing rocks.
Why, may I ask?
Well, there'll be a perfectly reasonable explanation. He's the local lunatic.
I thought Alvin was local lunatic.
Not out there. I only cover round here.
You're too modest, Alvin. You're daft enough for further than that.
He's there again, peeping out. Is he a bundle of nerves?
I hope so, else I'm losing my touch.
Does he have a skin rash? They have some nasty skin rashes. That could account for his agitation.
I can usually manage to account for his agitation.
Travis gets red blotches.
They do. They seem to overheat at the slightest excitement.
Sometimes it clashes terribly with the wallpaper.
Of course, if they're properly trained, they shouldn't be in a state of excitement.
Yes, but we don't all have your natural advantages.
I've always found Howard very good at reducing excitement.
Travis gets quite emotional. He doesn't say much, but you can sense him squirming inside. He puts a great strain on his underwear. I'm always buying him new underwear.
Do you buy them loose enough? You've got to give them room to shuffling. They all seem to be natural shufflers. I blame it on feeling guilty.
Howard always manages to make his vest ride up. It's always halfway up his back.
Oh, you should buy them longer. Make him tuck them well in.
It makes no never mind. He can lift any amount of vest.
He's there again.
He moves much faster than Travis.
Oh, he's fast, all right.
What does he keep looking out here for?
I think we're blocking his escape.
Well, I suppose we could move.
No. Let him suffer.
Yes, Yes, that's always best. It never did mind any harm.
It died, though, didn't it?
Yes. But I don't think it was just to avoid me.
We come in peace.
Watching the movies.
Try it again, louder.
One day, white man and red man will live in peace.
Bog off! Sounds like a native.
Turn away! I don't want to see your faces!
Just changing my library book. I shan't be long.
Is he much of a reader?
Not as much as he's a much of something else.
We should do this more often. Your husband offers endless scope for entertainment.
You should see him in his hiking shorts.
Oh, that'll be Travis. Not now, Travis. We're following someone. Yes, it's a man. It belongs to Pearl. Stop fussing, Travis. Yes, I know what your mother said about chasing men. This isn't a man, it's a husband.
He's going into the open field.
Now what? He'll see us.
All he wants is not to see faces.
We can do that.
I have to tell you, Glenda, this is not as absorbing as golf.
You said you were giving up golf.
I was lying. I thought you knew me well enough to know when I'm lying.
If it involves other women, I shall know instantly. Golf is a great area.
I love the game, Glenda. It's just that people keep turning up and embarrassing me. The other golfers all stare at me. They think the only people I know are weirdos.
Well, you won't have to worry about that out here.
This is one I can't be blamed for.
Hello, Barry.
Hello, Barry.
He's going in the library. We've misjudged him, I suppose. We ought to feel ashamed.
Tricky little devil.
Why? That's where he said he was going.
Well, that's what I mean. It's getting so you can't even lie or not believing a word he says.
Oh, sorry. What? No, we've finished that. We've stopped following him.
No, we haven't.
Whoops. Catch you later, Travis. We're on again.
Well, I never fancy seeing you here.
I bet it's the last thing you fancy.
Not that you aren't welcome, of course.
Don't welcome me, you little weasel. Oh, where is she?
I'm sure I don't know who you mean.
What happened to the woman who came in here?
I can assure you, nothing ever happens to the ladies in my library. Unfortunately, that includes me.
Is there another exit?
It's staff only, round there.
How'd you say
My advice is keep it shut. You are on probation.
Hang about. We can't help our faces, they're all we've got.
Stay back! Begone!
Be gone? Who the heck says things like be gone?
He does. I just heard him.
I've seen people in these highly confused states before.
What was correct procedure?
They need humouring, understanding, a sympathetic ear, until you can get close enough to hit her with something.
Oh, well, if you're just going to spoil them.
Begone, you forces of darkness! I command you in the name of...
Oh, yes, this one's well gone.
He's a nutcase.
I knew there had to be a reason.
Go on, then. Command us in the name of who?
Well, I did a minute ago. It were on the tip of my tongue.
When you do remember, I should write it down.
Don't worry. You live and learn. Keep back! I warn you, I'm wearing garlic.
If that's supposed to be a deterrent, you're in trouble. We all like Italian.
Although in the wrong hands, it has a tendency to splash.
Why look at me?
Because you can make spaghetti travel further than your truck.
One time. You put wrong spin on your spaghetti one time, and they never forget.
Oswald Kirk! I command you in the name of Brother Oswald Kirk.
Write it down.
Have you got a pen?
Don't encourage him.
He looks harmless.
I'm not harmless. I deny harmless. I'm deadly when roused. Hold on. Is there any women in here?
We'll buy you a pint, Sinclair. For anything extra, you're on your own.
I don't think he wants one. I think he's more in fear of one.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Yes, I am in fear, and there's not one. There's a dozen.
A dozen? Were you going for the record?
I were going along nicely until I crossed paths with that lot.
A dozen? That's a lot of paths, Sinclair.
He must have had a bicycle.
Well, I didn't cross them separately. They were all in one lump.
What was the attraction? Were they offering a group discount?
Attraction? Nightmare is what it is. It wasn't love life. It was just a sporting interest.
You can tell me I was in the Vice Squad.
And there weren't just women. There were more.
More than 12?
Unlucky 13?
More than flesh and blood. Scary, full of strange powers, dark powers, frightening. Of course, I didn't realise it at the time.
Well, you don't. You have to be married for a while.
They were witches. Well, you couldn't tell at first. They just looked like ordinary women, but with numbers on their jerseys.
Witches wear numbers on their jerseys?
This lot do.
Witches can't remember their own names?
What makes you think they were witches?
All I know is things have never been right for me since I insulted them.
A coven of witches with numbers on their jerseys?
Oh, I know what you mean. It doesn't sound likely. I'd agree with you. I've never believed in that sort of thing myself. You think it's all hokum. Till you find out the hard way.
dozen witches round here?
Yes. Round here.
I can think of one or two who might qualify.
Me too.
But 12 is pushing it a bit.
Well, there were 12 of them, including their trainer-manager. Oh, I am on the hit list of 11 witches who've got their own trainer-manager.
That's bad. Trainer-manager.
I believe him.
You're from Hull. You believe anybody.
Something about him.
It's called being loopy.
But he's very good at it.
You can laugh. You're not the one under the curse of the Wormley Whitches.
Oh, Sinclair. The Wormley Whitches are a ladies' football team.
Well, that's what I thought. I told you, a sporting interest. I went along to watch them play. You want my advice? Don't ever start shouting funnies at the Wormley Whitches when they're losing.
Is that you, Barry?
Yes, it's me. This fella who might as well sell his binoculars.
Barry, I hope this setback to your bird watching won't lessen your sporting interest in being cuddled.
It won't. I'm up for being cuddled.
So you won't need your binoculars.
I was looking forward to a bit of business with the binoculars. I might become one of the great twitchers. Couldn't your friends pretend they didn't know you?
Wouldn't that be rude?
It'd be better than a whole gaggle of people hiding their faces and shouting, "How do, Barry?"
You'd only be hurt if they didn't speak to you. You'd have a sleepless night worrying if you'd said something.
Under my breath, I tell you, I was saying something.
Oh, Barry, come and have a cuddle.
Thank you, Glenda, but I've got this headache.
So, you got yourself disliked, eh?
Disliked? You think it were just disliked? I've been in fear of my life ever since.
You were watching them play, and you got a bit gobby.
As you do.
Well, I may have shouted out one or two amusing comments. I mean, that's what the game's for. Brings out the wit and wisdom in you.
Witches not appreciate wit and wisdom?
Well, what kind of footballers are they if they can't take a bit of hammer?
What makes you think they might really be witches?
Well, all the things that have been happening to me since. I mean, if it weren't for my crucifix and the garlic, I would not be here now.
What kind of things have been happening?
They broke a mirror.
I've seen their goalie. She could break mirror.
They broke my mirror. Telepathy or something. I got home and there was a crack right across it. And that thunderstorm yesterday.
Oh, now, come on. You can't blame them for that.
No, how come the lightning just missed me? Me, I could smell it. My hair stood on end.
When you say just missed you, how?
All right, it were on t'other side of road. But if you'd seen that lot shooting at goal, you'd realise that were damn close by their standards.
Maybe they'll get you on a penalty.
They must be worth more than that.
Oh, it's never what things are worth, lad. It's what you can get. Good heavens, a coach party.
We need a man that looks magical and mysterious.
That looks more powerful than witches.
Or even traffic warden.
What? What?
Fancy a bit of witchcraft, Barry?
I'm not in the mood. You ended my bird-watching career.
Oh, the birds will still be there, Barry. We need you for an errand of mercy. We've got to unspell this idiot we've recently discovered.
Best one for ages.
If you like garlic.
I'm sorry. I've got this headache.
Are we going to have to mend, Barry?
Oh, he'll come round again. You can't expect him to be cheerful at the moment. I've just bought his binoculars.
Oh, poor Barry.
They say time is great healer.
course, they could be lying.
I look at it this way. He's just had a lesson that could serve him for the rest of his life. It's a charity thing we do for our customers.
And we'll sort Barry out later. Meanwhile, we need a person who looks as if he might be in touch with other worlds.
Which sounds to me like Smiler.
You could be right. He's not in touch with this one.
Also need an assistant.
Where do you want these tables putting? What? What?
My Barry says he's given up sporting activities.
My Howard says the same, but I think he's lying.
I don't think Travis ever had any sporting activities, unless you count worrying.
What's he worried about?
Everything, usually. Last week it was meteorites. This week it's earthquakes. I found him in the garden with his ear to the ground.
Well, I've heard of green fingers, but green ears is pushing it a bit.
He wants to worry about creepy crawlies in his ear.
Oh, don't start him on anything else.
What do passers-by think when they see him with his ear to the ground?
They think he's dead. We've had the ambulance twice.
Can't you keep him indoors?
That's not as easy as you think.
Doesn't he get a dirty ear?
It's the first thing I check when I get home.
They're sneaky. He's probably washed it.
Is he left-eared or right-eared?
Oh, I always check both.
You have to be thorough. There's many a husband been lost through casual inspections.
Say hello to everyone, Barry.
Hello, everyone.
Uncanny. Marvellous. Never seen anything like it.
Excuse me, stranger. Is this the way to the master?
Seek, and ye shall find. I've just been in.
And did you find?
I found. Marvellous. He was recommended by a clairvoyant at Pilkington's Bakeries. Knows when the jam is just right. Go and see the master, he said.
And you did?
I did. Incredible. You wouldn't believe the powers that man has. And he looks so...
Gormless?
I was thinking more on the lines of unassuming.
Is he any good?
Is he any good? I went in there a complete cripple.
How do you feel now?
Terrible. But when I went in, I couldn't feel a thing. He's made all the difference. Ow!
If you're the victim of small magic, Sinclair, you need big magic to cure it.
And this fella's big magic in a hut on the allotments?
He's renounced all his worldly possessions.
Gave me his iPod.
Offered us his wife, but we'd rather have cash.
Are ye seekers after truth?
We are, your worship.
This bloke especially.
If not the truth, then some acceptable substitute.
He doesn't look all that big magic.
He's just the assistant.
Well, if he's so magical, how come he needs an assistant?
It's mainly for the paperwork.
Tell your master, Brother Sinclair here needs a spell removing.
I'll see if the master is available. He is. It's your lucky day. He is available.
What's this?
Free sample of Master's words of wisdom.
Visit aunties for all your household needs.
Wrong side.
I thought of applying for firearms training. Impress the wife a bit. She thinks all I'm fit for is needlework.
Firearms? They make a loud bang, you do realise?
I can handle loud bangs.
I saw you when that lorry backfired.
Oh, just dozing off. That doesn't count. Besides, when you're shooting, they give you these big earmuffs.
Only for training. Not when it's for real out there on the streets.
You expect to shoot people without wearing earmuffs?
Should stick to needlework.
I didn't say I did it. It's just how the wife sees me.
Does she let you thread your own needle?
This is it. This is the cure. A barbecue. Make smoke, inhale smoke. See visions.
What kind of stuff is that?
Take deep breaths. It's a vision enhancer.
Get better reception.
HD ready.
Some people are so impressed that they get thoroughly sick.
That's it. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm cured. I'm not going through that again. It's worse than witches.
I told you it was marvellous. Did you see visions?
That was some vision.
Don't be too hard on him. It's worth the price of admission just to listen to his excuses.
You listen, I'd sooner be hard on him.
I was taking cover from this nasty smell when I stumbled across that young lady.
I must have been stupid. What kind of idiot believes in such a thing as terrifying witches?
Can you smell smoke?
Nope.
Can you smell smoke?
No.